You're drifting off with WSLP AM, Big Rapids.
The Northwoods Baseball Radio Network presents Sleep Baseball. Tonight, from Sam Nolan Field in Manistee, Michigan, it's the Manistee Eagles hosting the Big Rapids Timbers of Big Rapids, Michigan. And now, the voice of the Quint Cities, Wally McCarthy.
And a good evening again, friends. Wally McCarthy and producer Phil back with you. This evening we're reporting from beautiful Sam Nolan Field here in Manistee. There's currently a light rain falling here. The grounds crew has the tarp on the field at the moment, and we don't yet have word on when or if tonight's contest will begin. But you'll know as soon as we do. In the meantime, we'll have a little rain delay feeder here on WSLP. Producer Phil has some tape compiled for this very situation. But before we turn it over to Phil, let's pull a name out of the fishbowl for tonight's Instagram winner. If you'd like your name to go into the fishbowl, head over to sleepbaseball.com and give us a follow on Instagram, if that's the kind of thing you're into. And tonight's winner is Kevin L. Congratulations, Kevin. We'll be in touch on Instagram and sort out the exciting details. All right, and now we'll turn it over to producer Phil for tonight's rain delay feeder. What do you have for us, Phil?
Thanks, Wally. Well, I've got some highlights of on-field disturbances that have happened over the years, including the Wisconsin Dells kissing bandit and the infamous hot air balloon incident at Evergreen Field. I hope you'll enjoy it.
One out, nobody on for Buddy Lamont.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be advised that we have just received
And now a PA announcement about the popcorn balls.
Please do not consume.
It appears that there has been a popcorn recall just discovered, and the fans are strongly discouraged from eating the salty sweet treats.
Check from Salt City Infections as leave the park.
And now a blizzard of popcorn balls rains down on the field.
Thank you for your understanding during this difficult time.
The grounds crew being dispatched to begin cleanup. And a flock of seagulls and other interested birds now descend en masse on the field of play in a scene that can only be described as Hitchcockian. Mother of God. Let's take a short break while the grounds crew restores order here at Sam Nolan Field. All right, welcome back with us here at Sam Nolan Field. The popcorn balls have been collected and most of the birds have moved on to other opportunities, and play will resume. Salt City Confections will be distributing rain checks to all in attendance, and relative order has been restored here in Manistee. And before we take a break, it's time for the timber race here at Evergreen Field. Always a fan favorite. Let's see which tree will win tonight. We've got a sugar maple, a yellow birch, a spruce tree, and a quaking aspen. And they are lining up to take a lap around the park. The crowd is on their feet, and even the dogs are excited. And they're off. The yellow birch is off to an early lead, the quaking aspen right behind. And now a dog is on the field getting into the action. Actually, several dogs are now giving chase. And now a pack of dog owners are bringing up the rear. And the quaking aspen has lost his footing, and the dogs are on him. Mother of God. And the rest of the trees appear to be making a beeline for the safety of the dugout. We'll let the security team and the grounds crew get this melee under control. And we'll be back with more baseball here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network. And welcome back to Evergreen Field here in Big Rapids, Michigan. Wally McCarthy and producer Phil back with you. The dogs are safely back in the stands, and the quaking aspen is unharmed. Although I imagine it's going to cost a small fortune to have that costume professionally cleaned. And that hot air balloon is right over us. And it appears the captain of that balloon is yelling something to the crowd through a megaphone. If I'm hearing it right, it appears he is out of fuel. Drifting over the bleachers now, and just a few feet above the ground over left center. The players are scrambling out of the way as the balloon drifts slowly down. Oh, the humanity. And he'll touch down right near second base. It looks like everyone's okay. It might take a minute or two for the grounds crew to clear the field. So we will take a short break here, and we'll be back with more baseball in a moment, here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network. And we're back at Evergreen Field. The hot air balloon has been hastily folded up and removed from the field. Everyone's okay, and the crowd seemed to enjoy that little spectacle. And we'll look forward to reading about that in tomorrow's Big Rapids Pioneer. And now it appears that a young lady has taken the field. She is heading for the mound. The grounds crew is giving chase, and now Hiroki Nomo is on the run. Let's take a moment for a station ID while this melee gets sorted out.
You're drifting off with WSLP AM, Big Rapids.
All right. The young lady is being escorted off the field, and producer Phil tells me that that was the famous Wisconsin Dells kissing bandit. She apparently had her eyes on Mr. Nomo, but it was not to be this evening. She might have had better luck catching up with Ernesto Stern. Nomo's got some pretty good wheels on him. And now Bert Sessions is getting into it with Barabou Bob at first base. Barabou Bob is clowning him. And it appears there's going to be something of a scuffle as the Toma bench clears. And now the Barabou bench clears, stepping in to protect Barabou Bob. This is why we can't have nice things. Let's take a station ID while things get calmed down.
You're drifting off with WSLP AM, Big Rapids.
Okay, order appears to have been restored here at Evermore Field, but Barabou Bob has been tossed from the game by umpire Sean Whitman. And now a zany fan is on the field. Actually, that's what we used to call a streaker. Great day in the morning. Producer Phil, I haven't seen one of those since 1978. And the grounds crew is giving chase. Let's take a moment for a station ID here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network. All right. The grounds crew was kind enough to loan the fan a Cadillac car's bathrobe. And I think it's safe to say he'll be spending the night in the Cadillac cooler.
Hey there, it's Dana Dedrick, and I'm thrilled to bring you Love Notes, where we blend the best of smooth jazz and relationship advice to create a cozy late-night listening experience. Finding love and keeping it doesn't have to be so mysterious. Tune in weeknights at 10 p.m. to unwind with some mellow melodies and get tips on how to build and maintain healthy relationships. Love Notes, weeknights at 10 p.m. on WSLP, Big Rapids.
There is still a light rain falling here at Sam Nolan Field, although I have to say it's a very pleasant evening all the same. Still no word from the crew when we might be underway here. But in the meantime, let's see what else producer Phil has for us from the archives. Go ahead, Phil.
Well, Wally, how about some more on-field disturbances? Coming right up.
The payoff pitch. And Sessions is called out on strikes. Sessions not happy with that call, and he's barking at home plate umpire Fielding Crandall. And now Tigers manager Yuki Fukuda is going to come out of the dugout to have a word with Crandall. Fukuda is known as something of a hothead. And Fukuda is going to be tossed out of the game by Fielding Crandall. And we have liftoff. Fukuda running around the bases now, making some potentially inappropriate hand gestures, and now getting a few more remarks into Fielding Crandall as he touches home plate. And now Fukuda is tossing items from the dugout onto the field of play. Appears to be a case of sunflower seeds. And now a couple of bats. And that looks like a water cooler. Let's take a quick break while the grounds crew gets things cleaned up. And welcome back. We are in the bottom of the 7th here at Kitamori Park. Tigers manager Yuki Fukuda has been tossed from the game, and the debris has been cleared, and relative calm has been restored here at Kitamori Park. And now a zany fan wearing an eagle costume has taken the field. The grounds crew is giving chase, but he has evaded them thus far and is still at large. Let's pause a moment for a station ID while the chase continues.
You're drifting off with WSLP AM, Big Rapids.
All right, the eagle has been apprehended. The crowd seemed to enjoy that, but I'm guessing that young man is going to spend the night in the cooler. And catcher Buzz Norton will head out to the mound to meet with Whitehouse. Actually, it appears he's helping disperse the growing swarm of gnats around the mound. Perhaps they are attracted by the rosin bag out there. And here's the pitch. Chopper back to the mound. Whitehouse has it and tosses to first to retire Gantry to end the inning. And White House now swarmed by a group of gnats so thick we can see them from the booth. And he's hustling at top speed back to the clubhouse showers. That's one of the worst attacks on a White House I've seen since 1814. After 4.5, it remains Manistee 2, Barabou nothing. And now there's some activity in the outfield. Not sure what's happening out there. A small group of revelers is heading towards the infield. And producer Phil with the binoculars says the group has signs, and they appear to be yelling. One of them is dressed as a clock. These folks are apparently protesting the pitch clock, judging from the signs, one of which reads, "No clocks in Big Rapids baseball." Which seems strange to me, as there is not a pitch clock in our league, nor has it ever been discussed that I know of. Let's take a quick break while the security team calms things down here at Evergreen Field. You're listening to WSLP and the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network. Okay, the ragtag band of protesters has been removed from the field and play will resume. One away, base is empty for Buzz Norton. And now there appears to be a Skydiver over the field. The umpires have stopped play for the moment. And producer Phil with the binoculars says that the Skydiver is in fact Barabou Bob. Drifting down now, waving at the crowd. And he touches down in the outfield. And now the crowd is letting their disapproval be known. And they are hurling cups and other debris onto the field. We knew that Barabou Bob had something special planned for the 7th inning stretch, but apparently there was some kind of miscommunication, and he has arrived a bit early. Let's take a short break while this melee gets sorted out. All right, the grounds crew has cleared the field, and Barabou Bob has been escorted to safety. And now play will stop for a moment. It appears there are a couple of puppies in center field, wandering along the warning track. And producer Phil points out that those are in fact skunks and not puppies. And now Fritz Ortega is on the run. and the entire field will clear as the Skunks approach the infield. Let's take a short break while the grounds crew gets this situation under control. We'll be back in a moment here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network. And welcome back. The Skunks have been gingerly removed from the field of play. One away here, and bases empty for Blink Redderson.
Stay up to date with all the shenanigans of the Sleep Baseball universe at sleepbaseball.com. The latest episodes, news from the Quint Cities, and fabulous items from the gift shop. Sign up for Wally's World, our infrequent and mildly entertaining newsletter. Find it all today at sleepbaseball.com.
I don't know about you, Wally, but I've never had this much fun in a rain delay ever before. And here's some more tape from the vaults. Do you remember the bench clearing brawl at the Oldtimers game? Enjoy.
And the 2-0 pitch. And look out, that one runs high and inside. That one buzzed his tower. And now Hauser is approaching the mound with some words for Buster Malone. And now the benches on both sides are clearing, somewhat more slowly than what we're used to. And Hauser with his finger right in Malone's face. Interestingly, most of the players are just chatting in small groups near the action. And Malone attempts to get Hauser in a headlock. And now it looks like they've both perhaps pulled something during the exchange. And they will be helped back to their respective dugouts. Let's take a quick break while this gets sorted out. We'll be back in a moment, here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network. And welcome back with us. Bottom of the 6th here at the Oldtimers exhibition. After that minor dust-up, we'll have a relief pitcher for Buster Malone and a pinch hitter for Granny Hauser. Malone and Hauser have retired to the clubhouse for some topical pain reliever and probably a few aspirin. And now there's some sort of disturbance in left field. I can't believe I'm saying this, but there appears to be a monkey in the outfield. And he's now bounding across the grass towards second base. The players are heading swiftly into the dugouts. And the monkey has taken over the pitcher's mound. He appears to be interested in the rosin bag. And now a team of zookeepers are giving chase. And the monkey is on the move. Let's take a short break while this situation gets figured out. And we're back. The monkey has been apprehended and has been escorted out of the park. And producer Phil tells me that the monkey is the famous Mr. Pickles, a big hit at the South Haven Zoo just down the road from us here at Sylvan Field. And now the fighting tiger has become unmoored, and he is sailing onto the field. The players are scrambling out of the way, and rolling now into the outfield, and now airborne and over the stands and out into the night. Well, if you happen to find a giant inflatable tiger out there, drop the tigers a line. I'm sure that Mr. Fukuda will offer a nice prize for its safe return. All right, play will resume. 2 outs, bases empty for Gilligan Parker. And the 1-2 pitch. Knuckler called ball 2. And Beans is not happy about that call. And he is letting crew chief B.R. Montebianco hear about it. And Beans has been tossed from the game. He seems a bit incredulous. And now he has removed his uniform top to reveal a t-shirt that says Captain Bender. Possibly some kind of merch tie-in. Big Rapids will get their bullpen fired up, and we'll have a pitching change here in the top of the 8th. We'll be back in a moment, here on WSLP and the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network. The 1-2 pitch. High fastball called strike 3. Navarro not happy with that call, and he has a word with B.R. Montebianco behind the plate. And now Manny the Eagle has returned, gesturing wildly. And now miming how high that last called strike was. And Manny the Eagle has been tossed from the game. All right, Manny the Eagle has been escorted from the field of play. One away, base is empty for Gian Haggerty, who struck out in the second inning. And now some kind of commotion happening out in the nut hut. It appears a hungry gang of squirrels has breached the perimeter on the hunt for the bounty of fresh roasted peanuts. A number of fans are on the run and onto the field of play. Let's take a quick break while the grounds crew gets this situation under control.
You're drifting off with WSLP AM, Big Rapids.
All right, the Squirrels have been escorted out of the ballpark, and relative order appears to have been restored. And now it appears the sprinklers have been engaged out on the field. The outfielders are heading for dry land. And Manny the Eagle is running around out there, much to the delight of the fans. Let's take a quick break while the grounds crew gets this situation under control. And we're back. The sprinklers have been successfully shut off. The Eagles outfielders are returning to the field. They're looking a bit damp, but none the worse for wear.
Hello, friends. This is Billy the Burro Brother. I'm proud to announce that there's a brand new WSLP gift shop with all your favorite gear from around the league. Available now at sleepbaseball.com. While you're there, you can also sign up for Wally's World, Mr. McCarthy's infrequent and mildly entertaining newsletter, and become a member of the WSLP fan club. Listener-supported WSLP at sleepbaseball.com. Tell them the Burra sent you.
And welcome back, friends. This is Producer Phil reporting from Sam Nolan Field. Wally went to get a hot dog and a root beer and has not returned to the booth yet. We're still under a rain delay here, so let's enjoy some more exciting highlights from the archives.
And the 2-1. Hard grounder to third. Carlisle has it and fires to first in time to retire Malone to end the inning. And after 4.5, it remains Ravens 2, Eagles nothing. Now it's time for Manny the Eagle and Ray the Raven to have their foot race around the field. Manny is 4 for 4 this season. Let's see if Ray can notch a win here tonight. And they're off. Manny takes an early lead as they head around the first base side of the park. Ray just a step or two behind. And there's something of a commotion out there as they round the outfield. It appears that a few cats have jumped from their seats onto the field in hot pursuit of the giant birds. And now a few more felines joining in on the action. And many of them seem to have lost interest and are now bounding around the outfield. Coming around the third base side now, it's Manny by a stride. A few cats still trailing along. And it's neck and neck as they head to the finish line. And it's Manny the Eagle by a beak. And he's 5 for 5 on the season. Meanwhile, the grounds crew is attempting to herd the cats back into the seats. This may take a moment or two. In any case, we'll be back with more baseball here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network.
Hey, Big Rapids, this is Lamati. Thanks so much for your support. I regret to inform you that we've run out of wings, so 10-cent wing night is over. See you at our pizza parlor sometime soon. Cheers.
And welcome back with us on WSLP AM and the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network. Wally McCarthy and producer Phil back with you from Evergreen Field in Big Rapids. And we had something of an incident during the break. A number of ragamuffins in the crowd rained down the remains of 10-cent wing night onto the field after Mo Lamati's announcement that he had run out of wings. The grounds crew has been dispatched to take care of that at the moment. And it looks like Yuki Fukuda is going to jog out to the mound to have a word with Nomo. Tigers leading 6-2, top of the 6th here at Kitamori Park. And it appears that Yuki Fukuda's shoe is on fire. He doesn't appear to be aware of it. And Nomo is pointing it out, and Fukuda stomps it out in the dirt. That looks to be the old hotfoot gag. I haven't seen that done to a manager before, and I can't believe it's been done to Yuki Fukuda of all people. He's generally known as something of a hothead. And he heads back to the dugout with an icy stare. And now a cooler has been tossed onto the field. It appears Mr. Fukuda is on something of a rampage. And now what looks to be a dorm fridge flies onto the field. Let's take a quick break for a station ID while things get calmed down here at Kitamori Park. And now, home plate umpire Wilton Trumbull is examining the ball from that last sequence. And he's going to call the other umpires over for a meeting of the minds. And they're going to head to the mound to have a word with Captain Bender. And now Timbers manager Earl Gulcher will trot out to the mound. The umpiring crew now asking Beans to empty his pockets. And now Beans is going to get tossed out of the game. And he saunters back to the dugout. Earl Gulcher is heating up Wilton Trumbull's ear. And now he's been tossed from the game and he'll stomp off the field. And Trumbull is holding something in his hand and pointing to it. Producer Phil with the binoculars tells me it appears to be a small lemon zester, apparently used to doctor the baseballs. So we'll have a new pitcher coming in for Sorensen here in the bottom of the seventh. We'll be back in a moment here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network. And the pitch. And that fastball plunks Sessions on the backside. Sessions not happy about that, and he's barking at Fannin. And now both benches will clear. And it appears the players are armed with luxury pillows. And folks, this is a full-blown pillow fight. Even the mascots are getting involved. Probably not what Ed Horn had in mind for this evening's festivities. Let's take a quick break while things get settled down here at Kitamori Park. And we're back from Kitamori Park. The bench-clearing pillow brawl appears to be over. And I'm happy to report that none of the pillows appeared to break apart during the melee, which speaks to the quality of the merchandise at Ed Horn's House of Sleep. Top of the seventh here from Sylvan Field. South Haven leading Cadillac 2-0. And Shiny Patterson will step in against Whitey Flatbush. And there's been a defensive change for the Ravens. There is a new left fielder. And I'm afraid I don't know who that player is. His uniform might be called comically oversized. And producer Phil points out that is Billy Rudolph out there. He was the ball boy in the previous innings of tonight's contest. And he's apparently been signed by the Ravens. At 13 years old, I'm going to go ahead and say he's the youngest player in league history. All right, Patterson fouls off the first pitch from Flatbush, 0-1. As we head into the stretch, it remains Manistee 2, Cadillac 1. And here comes the Mo Lamati's Canoli mobile. And the lucky fan behind the wheel this evening is Linda Pinkerton of Big Rapids. Rolling out to center field, and they'll get a nice round of applause. And now some kind of fog machine happening out there. Actually, it appears the Canoli mobile may be overheating. Linda is going to take her exit, and she'll be escorted back to her seat. And that's Mo Lamati himself out there opening the enormous hood. And the grounds crew is going to be dispatched to help push the Canoli mobile off the field of play. We'll take a break and be back with the bottom of the seventh in a moment, here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network. And the 1-2. And look out, that high fastball brushes him back. And Gillick does not appear happy about it. And in fact, he's heading for the mound. And now both benches will clear. And strangely, there's not a lot of contact happening. Looks like a somewhat civilized conversation, in fact. And now Crew Chief Johnny Sneed is directing everyone back to the dugouts. And they appear to be complying with his request. And now some sort of commotion coming from the nut hut in deep left field. Producer Phil with the binoculars tells me that they have hoisted Barabou Bob into the air, and they are passing him around the seats. And Barabou Bob doesn't look particularly thrilled about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please come in Barabou Bob.
Let's take a quick station break while Barabou Bob gets back on his feet.
The Mascot Managerial Club is canceled until further notice.
You're drifting off with WSLP AM, Big Rapids.
All right, Barabou Bob has been released from the nut hut, and he's back near the Bombers' dugout. Bombers owner Tom Every has announced that the Nut Hut Managers Club is on hold for the evening. So Bombers skipper Mick Jenkins is back at the helm.
Stay up to date with all the shenanigans of the Sleep Baseball universe at sleepbaseball.com. The latest episodes, news from the Quint Cities, and fabulous items from the gift shop. Sign up for Wally's World, our infrequent and mildly entertaining newsletter. Find it all today at sleepbaseball.com.
And welcome back from Sam Nolan Field. We're still under a rain delay here, and I don't know where Wally went. Why don't we enjoy some more tape from the vault?
And the 2-1. Roller back to the mound. Tough play for Nomo. The throw to first, and he's called safe by B.R. Montebianco. That was a very close play. It looked to me like he may have been out by a step. And now Yuki Fukuda is out of the dugout to offer his opinion on the play. And he's going to heat up B.R. Montebianco's ear. Gesturing wildly. And Yuki Fukuda is going to be tossed from the game. And he's not going to go quietly. And now Yuki Fukuda is pulling up first base and taking it back to the dugout with him. And he's actually going to hop on a golf cart now. And he's off towards center field with first base in tow. Let's take a quick break while this situation gets sorted out.
You're drifting off with WSLP AM, Big Rapids.
And we're back here at Kitamari Park. Cooler heads have prevailed, and Yuki Fukuda has returned first base to the grounds crew. And it appears order has been restored. Pax Capriccio sets them down in order, and we are still scoreless as we head into the stretch. And now Lake City Mayor Clem Goodrich to sing his original composition, Baseball River. And the crowd does not seem to be very supportive of Mayor Goodrich's offering. And they're raining down a good deal of debris onto the field. And it it appears Mr. Goodrich will cut his performance short. In any case, we'll be back in a moment with more baseball here on WSLP and the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network. And the 2-1. Curveball runs high, and Sorensen falls behind 3-1. And Beans did not like the call, and he's going to let crew chief Bruce Winters hear about it. Gasparo will head out to the mound to try to calm things down. And I'm not sure that's working, as Beans is still hollering at Bruce Winters. And now Beans is going to be tossed from the game. That's a fairly common occurrence for Captain Bender. And he is not going to go quietly. And he's ripping open his jersey to reveal his undershirt, which appears to feature the Pine Tar Lodge, a local watering hole. Now waving at the fans as he heads into the dugout. And apparently he's letting everyone know that they can meet him at the Pine Tar Lodge after the game. So we'll have a new pitcher coming in when we return in a moment here on WSLP and the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network. And the 3-1 pitch. Fastball down the middle. And Montebianco calls that ball 4. So Haggerty will trot down to first. The crowd letting Montebianco know of their disapproval about that call. And now the Barabou Bob plush toys will rain down on the field. And it's going to take the grounds crew a minute to get the field cleared. Let's take a quick break while this situation gets sorted out. All right, the Barabou Bob stuffed animals have been removed from the field of play, and we're ready to resume the game. And now Big Rapids Mayor Jed Fredner is heading out to center field with the hot dog cannon. Apparently, the hot dog cannon can hold a few dozen hot dogs, buns included. And there they go. And I'm not sure that the hot dog cannon is ready for prime time yet, judging from the reaction of the fans. We'll let the cleaning crew get things under control here at Evergreen Field. And we'll be back with more baseball here on the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network. And welcome back with us from Evergreen Field.
This is Jed Fredner.
Wally McCarthy and producer Phil reporting on this beautiful night for a ball game.
Complimentary for the remainder of
And Big Rapids Mayor Jed Fredner gets a nice round of applause after announcing that the hot dogs will be on his tab during the remainder of tonight's contest. And the 1-2. Fly ball right field. Kosinski racing in. And he's going to be hampered by those Seagulls. He will not get to that one. And Pena is aboard with a 2-out single here in the 5th. And now Tigers manager Yuki Fukuda is going to have a word with crew chief Stan Fielding. He's waving wildly to the outfield. And I'm guessing he's hollering about Seagull interference. And he is right in Stan Fielding's face. And Yuki Fukuda has been tossed from the game. And now Stan Fielding is going to have a word with the grounds crew. And the grounds crew is now going to send the house cats of Sylvan Field, Abbott and Costello, loose on the field of play to attempt to get the Seagulls to move along. Let's take a short station break while this situation gets sorted out. All right, the house cats have chased the Seagulls onto greener pastures. And Abbott and Costello are back in the clubhouse until further notice. And they get a nice round of applause for their efforts this evening.
Hey kids, this is Blink Rederson. I'm here at Ted's Fishing World, and I just want to say they've got some great deals for people that like to fish or wish they could fish. They have reels, and they have lures, and they have bait. RLB, they call it. You can get the RLB special 25% off if you mention my name, Blink Rederson. Ted's Fishing World. If fishing's in your head, trust Ted. Ted. Well, folks, tonight's game has been officially postponed. So we'll be back at Sam Nolan Field soon for a doubleheader. Wally is still at large. This is producer Phil, and from all of us at WSLP and the Northwoods Baseball Radio Network, have a peaceful night. We'll be back on the air soon.